Hello, everyone. This is an impromptu live. My name is Jennifer Clark, and I am a Zazzle expansion expert. I mentor and coach people how to make money online with the print-on-demand platform called Zazzle. And I'm just coming on live. It is late at night for me, but all around the world, we have clients all around the world. So depending on what time zone you are in, hopefully some people can join me live. And if not, then please watch the replay, and in the comment section of this video, write the word replay and then comment any questions that you might have and or any responses to this video. I'm not going to be taking up too much of your time, but the purpose of this video is to talk about how to create intentional products for print-on-demand platforms. And many of my clients, they always want to know how they can earn a certain amount of money online with print on demand, and especially with Zazzle, because that's the platform that myself and Elka teach people on and mentor them to help build online businesses with. I've got a couple people online, so say hello in the chat. I'm live streaming across all of our Facebook platforms, all of our groups, and then also on YouTube at this point in time. So if you're here, say hello. My name is Jennifer Clark once again, and I work with my mother, Elka Clark, mentoring and teaching people how to make money online with Zazzle. So today we're going to be talking really quickly about how to create intentional products for print on demand. And as I was mentioning before, a lot of my clients always ask me, how can I make a certain amount of money? You know, that certain goal. So let's say $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month, or you want to make six figures in a year, right? We want to get to that 60K a year and or even more, right? Obviously, print on demand, and especially Zazzle, it is a business that you're creating for passive online income. And I can never make any income claim statements, and I'm never going to guarantee that you're going to make a certain amount of money. But what I can show you and tell you is proof from our clients who have been through our programs and coaching programs where they have made a certain amount of money and also seen certain successes, whether that be increased productivity, increased views, more sales, obviously, and also making intentional products, which is what I'm talking about today. So I can never make any income claim statements, but what we teach is how to use your business properly, how to build it up properly, and use intentional products, and also use our intentional 5 strategies, which we teach in our Profit by Design Academy. If you are interested in joining, because we just actually updated our Profit by Design Academy to be more robust, much more interactive, and also much more streamlined for our clients, taking in all their feedback throughout the years that we've been coaching and mentoring. And so we've recently updated that at the beginning of March. And so the link is in the description of this video, or you can go to elkaclark.com/start and scale, and I'll put that up right here. So that's you can enroll there by elkaclark.com/start and scale, and or just get more information about the program, because it is very intense and very in-depth in terms of the explanation. So I'm not going to dive deep into that right now. But if you're on the fence and or you've been thinking about joining, that's where you're going to get all your information. I will be going live in the next couple of days because we are doing some free trainings in the next couple of weeks. And we are also, as I said, we just launched our new program, which is all updated and much more robust than the previous classic edition, which we sold in the past. So creating intentional products is something that people talk about all the time. How can I make a certain amount of products per month? And we talk about productivity in our Profit by Design Academy as well. And we give you a structured outline of which products you should be making and which products you should be designing on based on your niche, and how to better effectively create that product suite so that you can get to that income goal, right? And as I said, if you have an income goal, let's say of $1,000 a month, and or even if it's less, it doesn't matter. Everybody is always making different amounts of money on Zazzle, and there's no right or wrong way to pick a goal. It's just depending on what you are previously earning, and then also currently earning, and what you want to earn in the future. And so when we really dive deep into what our earnings goal is and how we can break that down into our product suite, we really want to be intentional with our products, because obviously we don't want to be working many, many hours a day and not obviously reaping the benefits from the earnings and or even views and or feeling like we're building our business, right? A lot of my clients in the past have created an online business, and they've been really struggling by working really long hours, doing a lot of different products, trying a whole bunch of different things. But first of all, maybe those products aren't in the right niche and or on the right product for the niche. maybe the design isn't really the most intentional for that specific product. And also just making those intentional products to understand, let's say, that royalty that you are making from selling that product, is it going to ultimately get you to your end goal during the month, right? Because, for example, it's really hard to sell 100 t-shirts in one day versus a certain amount of products that will make you more royalties in either bulk and or if you're using high, medium, and low price point products, which we talk a lot about in the Profit by Design Academy, and we really break it down for you. So we want to make sure that when you're working on Zazzle, you're creating those intentional products, because it's a lot of fun to just design on Zazzle and, make fun designs and just kind of, design here and there, or pick a really cool product, but really breaking it down. And if you're a business owner and an intentional business owner, you're going to understand that that goal can only be reached if you sell X amount of products and earn X amount of royalties based on those sales, right? And so what I really recommend for you to do today, this is like a little mini workshop, is if you're able to right now, I know this is obviously impromptu, but go into your product suite and sort of look at what products you're making and how can you pick at least one intentional product that you can make today. An intentional product doesn't mean that you have to spend hours researching and hours designing and hours doing this and that. It is just knowing that you are serving the client. And we dove really deep into this discussion in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program mentoring session today, where you have to understand that you're serving a client, right? If you are building an online business, we are trying to make money. The end goal is obviously to make a certain amount of money, but we want to make sure that we're serving the client. And the client is only going to buy if we're serving them. They're not going to just buy for whatever reason, right? Think about when you go to the grocery store. Many of us have different food preferences. Many of us has dietary restrictions. Many of us like spicy food, hot food, mild food, seafood, junk food, X, Y, and Z, gluten-free, health-conscious stuff. There's always like everything under the sun. And each one of those niches within the grocery market is serving a certain client, right? And so that product, let's say we're buying a gluten-free loaf of bread, is serving somebody who wants to buy a gluten-free loaf of bread. And so the grocery store knows that they need to stock that gluten-free loaf of bread in the grocery store because they have that clientele who comes to the grocery store. So how can you, as a Zazzle designer, I know we don't sell groceries, obviously, online, but creating intentional products for print on demand is just the same type of thing as those customer buying habits, right? How can you serve your clientele within your niche and within your product range and make sure that when they see that product, it really clicks for them and they're going to spend that money so that they buy that product, okay? And obviously, I cannot give you, this is kind of like a hot seat coaching, but it's a generalized hot seat coaching because everybody who's online with me right now and saying Jackie, Angel, then we've got a Facebook user, I can't see your name, but we've got a whole bunch of people here. So you say hi and where you're from. We have people from all around the world, as I said, as clients. So really look at your niche and what product base you have right now and how you can be intentional products for your print on demand store. And this isn't specific only to Zazzle. It can also be specific to any other print on demand website that you might be working on. So Society6, Redbubble, Cafe Press, all of those ones. Zazzle is obviously my preferred choice, and that's where I mentor and teach. I coach people how to build their Zazzle businesses. But this is a really, really good thought for anybody who's creating any type of online business. And as I said, in our courses and in our coaching program, and even in our masterminds, we dive really deep into how can you really, really target your specific niche and then actually make those intentional products for your specific store, okay? So this is a generalized tip, and obviously we talk a lot about really good content in our free content. So this is free content. Our paid content is so much more in depth and so much more detailed, obviously. And so if you're wondering if you can get into that and or apply those knowledge bases to your products, you can definitely do it on your own, but coaching and mentoring is definitely the best bet for you if you really want to fast track those things for sure. So if you're online today, if you're listening to this right now, you can either write in the chat right away, like one intentional product that you can make today, which would be really cool because it's kind of like a little mini workshop where I can interact with you really quickly. But if you have to think about it, right? Then go home, or if you're at home right now, after I finish this video in a couple minutes, because I won't keep you for too long, write down an intentional product or go through your store and figure out what intentional product you can make today to serve your perfect clientele. And if you are part of our PDA program as well, you know who your avatar is, right? my style of my designs is very different than somebody else's style who is doing something completely different. All of us have different niches. We all come from, let's say, different backgrounds of culture and or just styles, right? Vintage, modern, minimalistic, retro, all those types of things. And or maybe we're specific to a certain type of art form. So modern, abstract, watercolor, oil painting, photography, landscape, portraits, all those things. And or maybe you're just on Zazzle for the specific reason to make money, but you still have to serve that product, that clientele. You still have to be present to a certain customer base so that you are able to be present in the marketplace and sell your products, right? And obviously there are trends as well, and you're obviously competing with other people in the marketplace on Zazzle, but there's always that really tiny niche where if you are really pinpointing it and you're serving your client very well, then that client base will find you because you're using those specific search terms on the Zazzle marketplace, okay? And so for me, it was a really interesting story how I figured out how to make intentional products. When I first started out on Zazzle, I was just making every product under the sun, and I didn't actually really think about my end goal. I was just like, oh, I'm having fun, I'm making products, I really just want to make some fun things and maybe they'll sell. But when you come into the business mind of things, then you realize, oh, actually, if I want to make X amount of dollars in X amount of days or in the entire year, or maybe you want to have a goal of like bi-weekly or something, you have to know which products you're selling and which ones are available in your store so that you can actually build up your royalties to get to that end goal, right? I'm going to have a drink for a second. So as I mentioned, and we talk about this in the Profit by Design Academy much more in depth, but obviously, let's say you have a store full of t-shirts. To sell t-shirts in one day, you have to sell, let's say, 100 t-shirts to 100 different people to make a certain amount of royalty for, let's say, $100 or $200. T-shirts cost about $20, let's say. So if you're earning a 10% royalty, you get $2 per t-shirt. So that means you have to sell 100 t-shirts to make $200 in one day. And if you break that down and you times 200 by 30, more or less, 30 days in a month, that's $6,000. But is it really realistic to sell 100 t-shirts every day for 30 days straight? I don't know. Maybe it's possible, but it's probably very hard, except if you're like a huge t-shirt manufacturing and you're using it for your merchandise. And so I really challenge you to break down your product suite and figure out how you are doing in terms of being actually intentional with your products. Because also if we break down the amount of time that you take to make each product, although we are making potential products to earn potential money in the future, and as I said, I can never make any income claim statements, but my 5 minutes, let's say, that I spend making a t-shirt today could potentially make me money and exponential money or passive income for the rest of my life, or as long as Zazzle is still kicking and still working, right? So that's a really good investment of my 5 minutes per that day. So I spend 5 minutes today on March 15th, 2023, and potentially 10 years in the future, I can still be earning money on that product, which is the best thing about print on demand because we don't have any physical products. So we can literally have that inventory in our store without actually having any cost to it, whether that be monetary cost or inventory, right? Like physical inventory cost, where we have a whole stack of t-shirts in the back in our back storage and we have to sell them before we can buy new t-shirts to sell, right? So that's why print on demand is obviously so amazing. But because we have such liberty of creating all of those different products, how can we rein ourselves in and make sure that those intentional products are being made and not that I'm wasting 5 minutes or even 2 hours or even 5 hours per day thinking that I'm making products that are probably going to help me in my store, but really they're not products that are ever going to sell and or ever going to get me to the income goal that I want, if that makes sense, because you need to have obviously that intentional product base of your suite. And I mean product suite. So that means you have a wide range of high, medium, and low price products, right? So that people at different price points can come in and buy at different levels of prices, right? You can even see that with the invitations with budget and also your 5x7 and all of those things. People buy certain things at different price points based on how much money they can spend in their budget. So you want to be very intentional on the products that you're making. And also, as I said, your niche is very specific to those types of products as well, right? So if I am in a niche of higher end luxury wedding invitations, then I'm going to focus on my niche where I'm doing more of the higher end wedding stationery. If I'm in the more of the budget area, I'm going to do more of the budget. If I want to be all across the board to cater to multiple different customers at multiple different price points, I'm going to be obviously making intentional products within that range between the low and the high. Okay. And then in my calculations and in my analysis, I'm going to make sure that if I potentially sell all of those, I can reach my goal of X amount of dollars per month. Because as I said, many of my clients first come to us, whether they've been on Zazzle for a really long time, and they say, I've worked so hard. I have thousands of products in my store and I don't understand because I'm literally making like $100 a year, but I have thousands and thousands of products in my store. And yes, you have a lot of products, you have a lot of quantity, but is it actually quality and quantity mixed together, which creates that intentional product? Okay. And excuse me. I know that a lot of people do like having fun on Zazzle, and the best part is that you can make thousands and thousands of products, and there's no, as I said, penalty for doing that. You're allowed to have as many products as you want, up to a certain amount. And I can't quote me on that because I have to figure out the right number. But you definitely have a very large quantity, thousands of products that you can create. But just because you have thousands of products in your store doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be selling each one of those 1,000 products, right? And so each product that you make, please make sure that you're being very intentional about it, because you don't want to be wasting your time. The whole reason why we're making this online passive income business with Zazzle and or any other print on demand is so that we can spend the least amount of time working and get the maximum amount of returns in return. Okay. So I do have a lot of people online. I want to see how long I've been on. About 15 minutes now, almost 17 minutes. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to pop on momentarily here and there throughout the week. We are gearing up to do our Profit by Design Academy client chat on Friday, so March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. If you're part of our Profit by Design Academy coaching program right now, you obviously have already received your invitation. We're doing a live chat where you can just sit down and get to know our community. And also there is a bonus happening right now that if you do sign up before next Thursday, in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, and I'll show the link right here, you get to have a free hour bonus coaching call, mentoring hot seat with myself and anyone else who enrolls within that time period. And I charge a lot of money per hour. I know I come here on live and I just ramble and chat, but that hot seat mentoring is me going into your store specifically, me giving you specific advice for your specific products, for your store and your brand, and how to build up your product base and also build up your store. And because here on Zazzle, here on Facebook and on YouTube, I just kind of chat with you, give you the generalized information, which obviously is extremely effective and extremely important. You have to take those points to heart and apply them into your Zazzle store. But those private coaching client calls, where those are the bonuses, and also the Zoom calls that we have every week with our coaching program clients, that's where we really dive deep into the specific examples, and I will give you all of my heartfelt information. I never hold back. I give more information than I probably should. And so if you join before Thursday next week and you enroll in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, you get a bonus of an hour session with me and a very intimate group of the people who joined within that week. And you can ask me any questions about your Zazzle store. And or even if you're just starting out and you don't have, let's say, any crazy questions about where you can go, or you feel intimidated, let's say, then I will help you. We'll start from scratch and I will help you give you information from the basics, but I will give you the most important information for you to get started, because getting started is actually the most important part of being on Zazzle, because starting your business properly and also building it up effectively and efficiently will save you so much time in the future. Okay. So I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I've now kept you for about 20 minutes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and being online with me. And it's really nice to see some wonderful faces that are familiar. We've got Angel, we've got Jackie, we've got Phyllis, we've got Catherine, we've got, who else? I have a Facebook user who I don't know, and then there's people that have not actually said anything, because I've got about 30 people online with me across all the different platforms. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And if you're watching the replay, then just put in the chat #replay. And then if you have any questions regarding intentional products and or the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, then you can definitely type them in the chat and our team Clark will get back to you. And we will hopefully see you in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program. And if you are still on the fence or can't, let's say, afford it at this point in time, we welcome you to take advantage of all of our free content. We have our blog, we have our Facebook group, we have our podcast, we have our YouTube channel, and we have obviously Instagram, and we do everything all over across all the platforms. So there's a lot of really great information for you to absorb. And the coaching program is like the next level up where we now get to actually dive deep into your store. And if you are interested in the mastermind, which is next level after the Profit by Design Academy, that's where we actually do like high level learning, where it's our 7-figure seller mastermind, where the goal is to make $1 million and sell $1 million online and make over $100,000 on Zazzle in 1 year. Okay, so have a wonderful day, and yeah, we will see you soon. Bye.